celestial event. No words to describe. I should have said the poem. So beautiful. So beautiful. The people need to see what I see. They need to see.
These are the spiritual as much as physical voyages of the co-federation solar, sun, our starship, planet Earth, restored to heaven on our and every earth as our spiritual, genealogical, local, global, universal voyager and shared her and his family community enterprise. Our new millennial year's mission to rediscover and re-understand, sustain, and explore are and all are in fact familiar new worlds of family community, of the tree of love, life, and light throughout the solar system and universe, to restore, renew, and sustain our and new life and new sustainable civilizations, past, present, retroactively, and now, balance, and future, always balancing, to loving, genealogically, and boldly become, and these space-time travelers, whenever and where we have, interdimensional reality, all in part being before, if also never been before, in alternative space lines that are circles, which are of the universal EQ, IQ, and SQ continuum. Balance, combinations of the ever-expanding circle which spirals and grows, budding and blooming in space-time. Love and live enlightened, ever young, long, and prosper all both in each and every one. Engage your heart, mind, soul, and body, for we all, both and each, both and all, can, must, and marvelously and miraculously make it so.
In the thunder's blast, she emerges, her eyes on fire, the mighty priestess. She is risen from the nativity of Caldera. She is risen from the fires of the earth. She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
She is risen. She is risen.
We are risen.
We all are risen.
May the circle be around the broken goddess be
The Statue of Liberty is in you. You don't need pictures of other than yourselves to learn. We are meeting at the cat store as we would have been, and knowing that the Statue of Liberty is inside us. We are meeting at the Ganges, the Vedic rivers, knowing that the Statue of Liberty has always been inside us.
Mahatantra, Mahamantra, Mahayantra, Mahasana, Mahayagatpramaradhya.
Anyone who tries to take that down is asking for big dark, big trouble.
महाचतुष्षष्टिकोटियोगिनी गणसेविता
We're having some trouble with the screen share. Probably means someone in the technology department is so filled with yang that they can't figure out how to make their software work. Screen share is not working. Not surprising. That's what you get with a patriarchal corporation. Fascinating. I'm here. I'm the Statue of Liberty. Hey, I'm the Australia. No problem. No problem. Pictures are not the story. People are the story. And I represent all of our great grandmothers meeting again at the hat store at Interdependence and Roosevelt Risen Road. That's Hera Harriet, Rhea Rayette, Clara Ra, Risen Rose, Precious Antoinette, Maria Flow of milk and loving kindness and honey, and Grandma Popper, Better Than Mary Poppins, and Dorothy, learning all the lessons of the Wizard of Oz and all of our generations. And we're also including Victoria and Sharon and Libertia. Not Libertina, it's Libertia. And Vanessa's family and Hadassah's family with Marion, and Vanessa with her mother, Victoria, and with Julia Marie with me, and with Harriet with Jackie, and with Barbara with Diana, and with all of the women, all of the branches of our family, Annabelle, all her sisters, all their sister Casinas, all of them. You know who you are. We want you to come. I represent you all, no problem. I'm here. May I assist you? Is there someone that I love? And we're meeting at the hat store. That's why I wear this hat. I've thrown my hat in the universal ring, and I represent you all, with or without screen share. And you know your pictures, you've seen him here many times. Look at the recent videos. They're still here because they're in my heart. I have you in my heart and you're covered. No problem. I have you in my mind, in my heart, in my spirit, and you are covered. Whether or not you covered yourself, I covered you. And all the people of all the heritages of North America and of our world, past, present, and future. We've gathered at the most important hat, crown, halo, home, and balance of love and work venue ever on this earth and we are opening the stargates from here. I guess the universe wanted you to look at me a little bit more this time. I have the courage and I have the love. I have the love and the courage to stand here before the entire world and say, patriarchy, you're going to be stopped, even if you have to stop yourself. If I don't stop you, you'll stop yourself. I guarantee it. So, parity is here for all on earth. Paradisal parity, not patriarchal planeticide. All of my sisters, all of my sister Kazinas, all of my family youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, each and every one of them. Some of them are pictured here, and they're on all the videos you see, and they will be on more.
Look, you need to see what I see. You need to see.
At 3521, Risen Roosevelt, we are interdependence in Roosevelt. Yin and Yang risen through me. We have opened the stargates. I'm not going away. And if I do, you're all going away. So, you wouldn't want to do that if I were anybody.
This day I call the heavens and the earths as witnesses intercessorily for and hopefully and prayerfully not against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessings and curses. Now choose love and life with light, so that you and your children shall live. For I give you good doctrine, forsake ye not your new millennial law.
Okay. What is the truth here? Maybe play sunflowers, the obscurity of Boston. This is Anna Marie singing Christmas, and I am Cherokee, Cheyenne, Alaska, and Alabama, Dakota. And I am also a French, English, and German. That means we are all related. We embrace the new millennial golden rule as the law of all the natives of the sacred ground that is Mother Earth, and all the planets of all the universe.
Welcome to our middays broadcast. We had a little trouble with screen share, and I'll tell you why that probably is so. Because somebody in the department of the software controls of these processes at this venue of Hangoutsz has maybe made some kind of programmatic error or some flicked of the wrong switch and is a little bit over yanged and imbalanced in yin and yang today. And as a result, something of their software is not working. But that I'm sure will return. I have absolutely no problem with that. I am a Statue of Liberty, and I represent all the Statues of Liberties all around the world. And I represent all the families of the women and the youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, and all of the men, too. I represent everyone in saying parity, paradisal parity on this and all planets, not patriarchal planetocide, not patriarchal plutocracy and plutonic conditions. We have delivered the new millennial golden rule to the entire world many, many times over, and it's at 50/50 now.wordpress.com. The Great Lie has attempted to cover up gender parity. They've been operating very carefully. They've selected their female minions, women who are so depressed and hurt by their mother wounds and the fear of their father figures that they cannot rise. So I rise for everyone. And I'm protecting the men too, because you know what? Even you old plutocrats are not going to get a good deal in the future unless you recognize me. I am Estrella. I am the goddess, or Astra, the goddess of the Statue of Liberty. I am also the mother of all the clans of humanity, the great mother, risen. And I have delivered gender parity to the entire world. And this week, Valentine's, we are especially celebrating at a special venue that was at 3521 North Roosevelt Road in Chicago, in the heartland of North America, an area that has seen many various ethnic and racial heritages in connection. and who I am representing all of them and all the families that they have ever been connected to, past, present, and future. And in the name of this beautiful hat and store that was in a home run by a woman taking care of her children, we're going to play a little tape for you of that. Her 2 daughters, and she was herself a daughter, and she had a sister by the name of Clara. We are the line of the women and the line of the youth, female and male, who recognize the importance of women in parity decision-making and the balance of love and work for women and men. And a culture that is egalitarian, reparative to women, and egalitarian. Read about it at 5050now.wordpress.com. Read the New Millennial Golden Rule there. Scroll down further and see the 11 steps, how easy it is to get out of patriarchy. And then go down further to the sermons. We all have a dream to make reality now. And all of these 2 months, I'm not just giving it a month to month. It doesn't have to be perfectly on the anniversary of the date of publications of Common Sense. This is too big to wait for 1 day or 1 month or 1 year. I have the time I need to do this. Even if I'm 35 years late, I'm on time because I got it. I got it that we need parity. And I got it that somebody has to give it to you. And I have done it. And I am Cosmic Christ. And I don't care who tries to take that away from me or how. They can't take it away from me, and they can't take it away from you, because if they do, they'll take away their entire future. So it's not a good move. And go scroll down further, and you'll see the names of our great and grand family amongst your names, also represented by all the women of the world and their youth, female and male, age 37 and younger, female and male. And this is the names of people you've seen me calling many times over in the recent broadcasts. I mention all their names through mine. They are my family. All the members of my family have gender parity. Pure and simple. Whatever their name, that's their name. They have gender parity as their middle name. Okay. They have the New Millennial Golden Rule as what's on their lips, and they have that in their thoughts. And that is who they are. That is their vision. That is their light. And they have it within them, because I have given it to them many times over. And although they resisted, some of them, they can't resist it because it's a part of them. So we're going to do a couple of outreach calls. We've already done a number today, and we're going to do our ceremony and play a special excerpt of the tape that is important for people to hear. Let's see. Screen share is simply not working. Something going wrong at Google. The other things are working, but not screen share. Isn't that fascinating? That speaks of some little game going on here. I'm not worried about it. Okay, let's make some phone calls. Hi, is Judy there? What's Judy's mother's name? You don't know your mother-in-law's name? Yeah, you don't know her name? I'm honoring their family. All right, is she there? Okay, well, can you knock on the door? Well, I'll tell you what, we're honoring all their line of females first, and then we'll get to yours too, your mother too. All right, bye-bye. All right, and it's Judy's mother's name? All right, well, I'm honoring her in Judy's name. Okay, bye. And her sister too. Okay, and we're honoring Judy's and Judia Ma and Judia Sistra and and all of their Shekinah and Louisa and Ma Louisa and and Karana and all of their Shekinah. First, go first. Oh, we had some neighbor action here, and now we're going to do our outreach calls. Put it on. Of course, we honor Anna Marie and Ma Patricia and Laura and Martha and all of their Shekinah going back to the beginning of time, and all their youth age 37 and younger going back to the beginning of time. And that also includes Rosa and Edith and Astrid and Angeline. And it includes, as soon as we get the women, then it will also include the young men of that family too. But as we need to get some more of their women. We've had Anna Marie and her mother, and they'll be back too. But I'm speaking for them. They have anointed me as an adopted sister. I am the standing white dove circling. And I am standing white dove circling, and I have anointed the entire planet with the new millennial golden rule. Okay, you can see me. I'm online right now, and you can see our white and pink and gold and green flowers and our heart lights, our marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers, and our heart light, and our marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers, equally important, equally related. And I have begun the ceremony. I'm going to be doing the ceremony. I'm going to play, now we've already introduced the location of the home of great and grandmothers, hat crown, halo, and solar crown community at Interdependence and Risen Roosevelt. And we are also this week, as soon as we get a little bit more of our Shekinah co-hostessing, we're also going to introduce our other homes of our family, where we are also solar co-secretary generals. You've already seen these depictions early this morning, and we thought right now best to look at me to show that even one person can contain an entire whole family community in their in their spirit, in their thoughts, in their heart, most importantly in their heart light, and in their mind, in their mind, in their heart, in their heart, in their mind, in their spirit, in their body. And I can tell you all. And I am acting as clan mother for you and intercessory for you until you can figure out how to do this yourself. Now, all of the branches of our family have had women called over this weekend who know them and who knew their mothers, and who knew their sisters were possible too. And everyone has been told about these broadcasts and that we now have parity, not patriarchy, on this planet. And all that people need to do is stop watching television and stop going along with a lie, and remember common sense, and remember Atlantis risen, and remember that Israel can reach the promised land, and that promised land is paradisal parity. The Garden of Eden and the Elysian fields become Eleucosaveral fields. And all the lands of the world, and this world and all worlds, are holy lands based on my deliverance of the New Millennial Golden Rule in your knowledge of it. Now, you need to co-hostess and co-host with me, and you have not been doing so. So I can predict to you that while you are being given the lie by television and for advertising and all the old corporations that are owning the mass media, while that occurs, you are going to have curses. And as soon as you start announcing the New Millennial Golden Rule and sharing it with everyone you know and coming to co-hosts and co-host, you will have blessings. And we have included in these broadcasts now not only the names of us, Hera Harriet, Rhea Rayette, Clara Ra, Julia Maria, me. Let's start with the younger sister, Rachel, and Julia Marie. Let's start with, because in this generation, a younger sister did the job. All younger sisters in past generation have been submerged. In this generation, the younger sisters have to do the job, and the younger generations have to do the job, or else this younger generation is going to have a nest full of problems that you cannot imagine. And so they have to overturn whatever the errors are of either their father, their mother, or any older men or any older women of their family and community systems in missing this important shift. And so also Precious Antoinette, Richard Rose, and Marie of Flowing Milk, Honey, and Kindness, and Grandma Margulies, Grandma Popper, all of the pearls within them ripened, and all of the ability to fly better as goddesses, better than Mary Poppins, putting solar panels on the roofs of every home so that we don't have global warming instead of chimneys that have black soot. And we are also representing Dorothy, and also Cheryl and Stacey Anastasia, and all of them. Of course, we've got Soma and Meredith. We've got all of the young people. We have Vanessa with her mothers and grandmothers. We have her with Victoria, with Libertia, and with Astara, because those are her currently renamed by me. I am renaming her Shekinah in her honor until they come to the broadcast and also include their own given names. And also, now we also are including Barbara and Linda and Diana and Sarah, of course, Sarah, very much, Abby and Sarah. And we are including all of the generations of the females, past, present, and future, as having come into a world that parity already existed. Via the New Millennial Golden Rule, we are at this incredible location in our hearts of where our great and grandmothers' gathering place for the women was. And now we're going to say this. I'm going to go to the 345555 line and continue there and do the ceremony there. And I'll make the point there that the introduction is on this line. and that you can hear the ceremony there. And then sometime during this week or next week, we'll probably change this, the 345-555 number line to 123 for 12345-555. And then we may add on more numbers as we go along, and then we'll make the complete circle by the 22nd as connecting the Valentines and the leadership role, which is no longer a patriarchal president or prime minister or any designated P name, but is co-secretary generals, co-saviors of this and every planet. So go to the 345-555 extension and hear the tape I'm about to play online. Okay, we've given you a little introduction on the 555 extension, and now we're on this extension going to do an actual excerpt from a tape of two sisters talking. This tape was gathered from them, in the mid-1980s, I think. And on that calendar, we're changing the calendar, you know, so you're going to have a completely new Stardate World Community Linking calendar. But on that calendar, it was around then, and it was before we began to journey also to the East Coast and meet some of their cousinas and their cousinas' young daughters, which we did, and we also honored them here at the hat store also. All of the women of our family, all of their mothers, all of their great and grandmothers, all of their Shekinah, all of their cousinas, all of the women of their communities who were also cousinas and Shekinahs, they are all honored here. And we're going to do we've already showed, we had a little trouble with screen share on this broadcast, and that may be a revelation that they are having some problems within the techno life of the people who run this service. And that could be related to the lack of yin and yang balance in the culture, that there would be a flaw in their software suddenly. But it also most likely is something that is explained by the general yang immersion of our planet and is affecting things. So we, nevertheless, no problem for me. I am here. I am the embodiment of all the pictures I showed you, the Statue of Liberty, all the hues of the Statue of Liberty, all the heritages come through me. They are in my bloodline, no problem. All of the young people, female and male, I carry them. I am their clan mother. I love them all. They're all represented by me. The building that I have been showing you with the Statue of Liberty and the breastfeeding mothers and the representatives of the women of all the different heritages and the young woman and the young man and all of them looking at the family tree that is shaped like a heart with the yin-yang balance that is opening the Stargate. I'm picturing it for you right now in words. You don't only need just pictures. You need to have the thoughts that go with it. It's the consciousness that goes with it. So we have gone roundabouts and gotten every woman who has ever had contact with any of the daughters and the youth of this family into the circle. They are I have named them. I have named Amrita. I have named Marilyn. I have named Michelle. I have named Linda. I have named Michelle. And let's start with the younger one, Linda and Michelle. I have named Heidi. I have named Ellen. I have named Sherry. I have named Arlene. I have named Lee. I have named Batya. I have named Helene. I have named Beth Ann. I have named Susan. I have named Hillel. I have named Asira. I have named, of course, me, Rangel. I have named Julianne Marie. I have named, of course, even before her, I really need to name for us right now, Hadass and Marion, and Marion's Pearl, and their Shekinah Rebecca, and I've named them, and I have named Soma's Vedanta, and Meredith's Suzette. I have named all of their sister Kazinas. I have named Julie and Dory and Dale and Dana. I have named Arlene. I have named Tracy. I have named Deborah. They all know this, and people who know them know this. I have named Esther. I have named Ilsa. I have named Ilsa. I have named Esther. I have named Sarah. I have named Judy. I have named, of course, I have named Harriet and Ja. Ya, even though Ya is frightened, we are naming her anyway. And we are naming also the line of men whose mothers were forgotten, apparently abused, and the family was brought to an orphanage. We are naming those women. On behalf of their current representatives, Tatiana, Valentina, and Elsa, and also the real names of these women, Panina and Sasha and Antonina. We are naming them. They've been named. They're all included in the parity deal that I have just given to the planet Earth. Here is the excerpt of the tape that I want you to hear. It's very brief and very simple, and that's what you need, because your thinking is quite simple and you need simple distinctions like parity versus patriarchy.
Then she said she couldn't use the maid for everybody. Did you feel that? That's when she came back and started to sell again with the global center. Her whole love was to have her children there. She didn't turn it so empty just to get along, have enough to eat. And she rented rooms together. She was careful, very careful. And there was a sister, Clara.
There, you heard two sisters naming the two sisters, discussing Ray and Clara, and I am acting on behalf of two sisters. I have the sister within me who is my sister, and she has me within her, even though there's enormous pressures upon her sometimes to forget what she is, the glory that she is a part of. Because when people are harmed, one of the things we want her to co-host us about is when people are harmed by patriarchal medicine, like pediatricians who give babies colic by separating the mothers and the child when they need empathic connection. Or we have medical doctors now who are not taking proper family HERN histories and don't understand the transmission of gastrointestinal issues and how that is related to the stress of living with dominant personalities who have adopted the ways of patriarchy instead of the gentler and fairer ways of egalitarian discussion and communication. All of this is what you are going to co-host us and co-host about. Now I'm going to do the ceremony. You can hear it. I'm doing it in stereo. We're also on the conference line in case you want to call in. I do it to try to do both. If you have any difficulties getting in on the conference line, you can also call me at my home number. And I'm doing the ceremony right now. We are doing it as if at the home that was also the Hat Crown Halo gathering place for the women of community. Because gathering women is an incredibly important issue that our culture has been forgetting. The women are all stuffed away like hideaways in their little houses. They don't talk with each other. They're letting their In some cases, men of their family or their communities impede their communication. I say to those women, we're doing this on your behalf with or without your knowledge, and the Goddess God knows it. Goddess God knows this is happening, and that nothing can stop it. Nothing can stop it. Because if anything tried to stop it, the planet would stop. Because you cannot have a yang-yang planet. It destroys itself quickly and horribly. So I am doing this on your behalf, but you are needed here as co-hostesses and co-hosts. You all have this number. You know how to call in and listen to it. Everyone's been given it to them. All the generations of the young women and some of the young men have been given this. And we say to the young men, you're coming under the pressure of the failure of your mothers to know that they've been deceived, and the failure of your fathers to recognize that women were badly treated and are badly treated on this planet, and that has to stop. George Carlin, as you know, I've told you, has said, women are crazy because men are stupid. What he meant was that men are ungrateful, that men take things for granted, that men thump their chest and say they think they know what they're doing and everything belongs to them and it's okay. And that is really stupid. That is ape-like stupid. That is really stupid. And he said that women are crazy when they try to fit in with that. And the women of North America are currently yet trying to fit in with that. They don't have parity, and some of them are, so many of them are not even asking for it, not even mentioning it, not even using the word. If that occurs, the scenario here will be so dark that it will make the female genital mutilation that occurs in North Africa look like a picnic. It will make the horrible wife abuse that occurs in Russia look like easy, because what's occurring in North America is high tech. And high tech mixed with patriarchy spells Fukushima on steroids. It spells a Mount Thera eruption. It spells an earthquake that provokes a Mount Thera eruption. It spells the worst scenario you could possibly figure out, because the U.S. area is highly technological. And when the technology is failing in a yang-yang context, look out, everybody. So you don't want this. So now I'm going to do this ceremony. Let's focus on your coming here as co-hostesses and co-hosts. Everybody has been invited in one way or another through someone who knows them or who shares their surname of their mothers or a similar name to their mothers, and has been notified that they are acting as intermediary for these people who have been difficult and making themselves difficult to reach. Everyone has been reached by virtue of the ripple effect, by the fact that everyone and everything's interconnected. I have the consciousness to know that I have reached out to everyone, and that everyone has been reached out to repeatedly. All of your ignoring doesn't change the fact that I'm connecting with you. It doesn't. But if you keep ignoring, it will bring the curses. So you don't want that. Here's the ceremony. The light is on in all our hearts. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers and water. Hugs and love to all, both and each and everyone as soon as possible. And we'll say the greetings. Namaste, the divine within me greets the divine within you. That's one of our major heritages. Mitakuye Oyasin becomes Mitakuye Koseverall. We are living on the land of generations upon generations upon generations upon generations upon generations of women who did tremendous amount of growing and sustaining and nurturing, not only of Mother Nature's fruits and vegetables and flowers, but of their own children, who are the best flowers and fruits. And they were harmed by patriarchy, and they are on another planet, and they are listening. And I, as white standing, circling dove, do represent their generations, and I have been empowered to do this by Anna Marie Singing Cricket and Ma Patricia Sunflower, and I am taking that step for them. I am another white calf buffalo woman, and I am also taking that step for them. I am also an Orisha. I am a Yamancha. I am the goddess of Lillian Gay and all her people, her daughters, her cousinas, her sisters. These people were particularly injured in North America. They were also injured badly in Africa, where they adopted patriarchy. There's different groups in Africa, just as there were in North America. The tribes of Africa, some of them were patrilineal and violent, and others were matrilineal or bilineal and peaceful. I represent the peaceful goddess tribes, sharing their ways to enlighten all the other tribes all around the world, in this continent and every continent. We are the goddess risen of that tradition. I am also the Celtic Brigitte. This is a holiday time for them. The time of what is often called St. Patrick's Day is a misnomer. It was originally St. Bridget's Day. It is a goddess holiday. It is a goddess holiday is equal to any god holiday. In most cultures, there is a concept of goddess and god that work in tandem. And if you go back far enough, there's a mother-father goddess god, not just a father god. And so I am also representing all of those traditions and that first families of this part of the world. And especially I am representing all of those families that connect to Margulies, Silverkind, Zalkind, and Feldmar. Let's connect the Margulies and the Feldmar, the marvelous, miraculous line of branching family that does go through Mariam of Magdala and her family. And we're going to give her mothers some names. No one knows the name of Mariam of Magdala. Let's name it. Estera. Mariam of Magdala had a mother. Her name was Estera. She had a sister. Her name was I want to pick the right name. I'm sure that I want to have the spirit moving through me as I pick the name of the sister of Mariam of Magdala. Her sister's name was Raquella. Raquella with a Q. Raquella. Raquel. Raquella. And I'm also picking, I'm speaking for also all of our traditions going back to Atlantis. I am speaking for Ariadne. I'm speaking for Carol Christ, who has given me the permission to do so, and Mika also. I'm speaking for their organization. I'm speaking for the goddess of the Mediterranean, of Crete, of the Balkan area, of Rhea and Ariadne, and of course, Astrea, the goddess of divine justice and mercy. I'm speaking for all of these women here at the Hat Crown store. This is what we would have spoken of had our educational system given to us what we should have known, what we should have been given, and what was stolen from us by aggression and by cruelty so many generations ago, that so many women forgot the truth of their own stories. These are not mythologies. They were actually Huron histories. And the Eleusinian mysteries belong to all of us. And I have now made them the Helioco-Savioral mysteries, which is what this is. So now let's see if I named everybody. I think I've named all the various branches of family. If I have forgotten anybody, oh, Georgine, Malka, and Shirley. We have to remember the neighbors branches. I've just spoken with Judy, and I'm remembering her Sarah. I speak for Judy. I reach into her heart and speak for her. And I speak for Louise, and I speak for her great and grandmothers who are Muzel, and Elena. Muzel and Elena. And also, I speak for the names of the men. I'm going to speak some names of men in whispers. Their mothers. Well, I'll get to the men. But the names of the mothers of sons. Mary, Rose, Meredith, Patrice, Patricia, Estella, Louise. These are mothers of sons who are going to, through me, through my agency and what I am doing, not neglecting to do, that we did neglect for so many generations, to teach the women to gather and the young to appreciate the female and male as equals, so that they all may have divine democracy and apotheosis as goddess gods, equinox true cues. So now I'm going to do the ceremony. You've heard the tape. We've celebrated the place that tape referred to. It is a first opening of a stargate, and we are this week connecting it to every place on earth that the Statue of Liberty is, and the Vallente League is, and all balance of love and work organizations are. And all organizations working for Mother Nature to protect the nature of this and our future in all planets. So the light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers in water. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one as soon as possible. The light is on in all our hearts. We have with us marvelous, miraculous, budding, blooming flowers. Hugs and love to all, both in each and every one as soon as possible. We drink the milk of breastfeeding. This is why we call it the Milky Way. We are called mammals, mama. It has to do with the, often referred to as the mammary glands. The milk. Milk nourishes the mind, the heart. Milk chocolates, you're giving some, aren't you? It is the ultimate Valentine, is the milk. And so it is the way we all start out with love. We have to have our experts. We have a bunch of them in our family. We have Julianne Marie, we have Barbara, we have Marion. We have all of these women with expertise on the importance of on-cue breastfeeding. We have Ivy, we have others in the family who are all experts in this area. So we need to, and we're connecting them with every La Leche League and using their names and honoring them, both as mothers and as children, as mothers and daughters. And also, we'll also include their sons in a little bit too. We're not leaving out the sons. The sons are very important, and every young man can become an apotheosis also. But those of our family are especially precious to us, and those that we know of in our family. So we are especially honoring their mothers too, and them, their sons. And the milk of human kindness that flowed between them as babies and must through all their generations. And that is what gives us ability to be kind later in life to one another and to all people. We drink to the milk of human kindness for all, both in each and every one as soon as possible. And we have included those who live in Schaumburg, right at the headquarters of La Leche League, right in the region there of the Schaumburg area, because there's a number of our relations that do live there and don't know this enough. So they know that this is very important and has been included. There. We'll drink the water of loving, living of enlightened, loving, living planets that will reclaim and sustain our planet Earth to be for all, both in each and every one as soon as possible. Okay. Now our birthday cakes. We'll celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together, past, present, and future, starting with our spring birthdays coming up, connected with our autumnal equinox birthdays and all our autumnal birthdays, and then our all years round birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days of all the people. You know who you are, and I'm holding up the cakes. And that's for past, present, and future. So we're remembering the names of some of the women who've passed and their birthdays too, because that's one of the ways we're going to open up the Stargate. And I will say this again, holding the cakes in a reciprocal fashion. We celebrate we celebrate and re-celebrate all our birthdays, conception days, name days, and holy days together. No one is left out. All females are included in this. Even the ones who are acting very badly, like they have relational aggression and internalized patriarchy and internalized misogyny, they're all included. You're all included. I forgive you all of that you're doing because you've been made, as George Carlin said, crazy by men being stupid and by your media. So you're crazy, okay? I'm the sane one. I'm like in the poem, if you can stand while all the others around you are losing, if you can keep your head while others are losing theirs, that's me. I kept my head. You're under the influence of embedded patriarchy. Wake up. Okay, and we did the cakes. Okay, now let's do our pictures. I started doing this. We have trouble with the screen share today, and I think that's probably good because you need to internalize the Statue of Liberty. You need to internalize the breastfeeding mother feeding her daughter and her son. You need to internalize this. This is you. You're Astray, Astra, however you want to pronounce it, Astrea, Astra. You are the statue of divine justice with mercy. You are the mother in all people. You're the X chromosome that both women have two of and men have one of. Everybody has the mama in them. If we have a culture that is so hard on mamas that mama don't know how to mama anymore and is turning into papa, then it all goes haywire. So we can't do that. What we need is a culture that allows mama to balance her love and work so she can not only be mama of the breast or mama of the caretaking, but also the mama who, like mama did, invents some of the greatest inventions that we have on this earth. The mama who did reveal the secrets of the genetic code, because it was a woman who was involved in that. The mama who did discover how to miniaturize figures, that gave us the telephone. The mamas who did a lot. The mamas who likely invented the wheel. Okay? And we'll just give you all your kisses. All your pictures are here, and even some of you are showing up a little small, but you're here. All the great and grandmothers, all the great aunts, all the Shekinah are here. The current generations of Shekinah are here, and all of the youth age female, age 37 and younger, female and male, are here. They're represented by a few faces, but you're all here. Okay, now these people are very special to me, and I do a little bit of special for them because they are the direct recipients of the line of the hat and crowned and halo location, the Stargate opening place that we are remembering and not forgetting. Nobody can make us forget that, even if people are under pressure to degrade it, make it seem less. Oh no, this is a Stargate opening. The remembrance of this is a Stargate opening. This is about consciousness and what you value. So we are doing these people even though they need intercession right now. They've been put on the wrong road. Their associates are on the wrong road. They're watching television that's giving them the wrong road. They're all on the wrong road, and they're pushing down the most important female of their grouping. The most important females of their grouping are being ignored or co-opted into an enabling and lesser position. Maybe a seductress, maybe a bimbo, or some combination. If that occurs, the young couple that's involved in that will have terrible trouble. The mothers who are involved in that will have terrible trouble. We need both these people's mothers, and we need all the mothers of our circle, who you've seen many, many times. And they're depicted here with some cousines and with their great and grandmothers and aunts. Okay, and we'll just do this. And I'm going to emphasize that we are also naming, as the mothers that we've already named in the list, the mothers of this young woman, by my anointing them and her. I have anointed them with new names, and we have been in contact with women of these names who are acting as intermediary until the actual blockage, the hostage taking that is occurring under patriarchy, is relieved. And we are naming the names of the hostage takers, even though, as always with patriarchy, the victimizers were among the worst victims. The people who do the victimizing are the people who were harmed most by patriarchy. So we have to understand that we have compassion for these hostage takers, but we don't have compassion for hostage taking, and we are outing the process. No one completely hostage takes someone who is as precious to the world as these people. I will not allow it, and God will not allow it, no matter how many old fools they're surrounded by, who themselves could become young again via the new millennial golden rule. Okay, and now we'll do the larger family grouping. There we go again, all here, all represented. The crown hat shop was on sacred ground and is on sacred ground, but it's also in the air. It's also in the ether. It's in the Akashic record. It cannot be removed from those places, and it is standing up in those places, and it will stand up on the sacred ground too very soon. And now we also add our clear bowl of fruit with our multi-hues of all humanity and of the colors of light. Our fruit and our vegetables will start fresh with parity, not patriarchy. In our hearts, in our minds, in our political institutions, our economic paradigm, and in our spiritual understanding, and in our bodily understanding of our own bodies, that we are either XX or XY. If we're going to survive, we have to have the X, and the X has to be risen. It is the divine feminine risen. And that is the way that the divine masculine also becomes risen. That is the nature of a Christ. The Christ combines the female and the male aspect, the yin and the yang, in better balance. Okay, and that's why women, even though they have two XXs, they have to know they do have some testosterone, and they have to be able to do what I am doing. Stand up. Stand up, ladies. Be a dove, but stand up. Say it loud. Parity, not patriarchy. And now we'll just say again, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and supercalifragilisticexpialidocious, and all the blessings and all the greetings of all the languages and all the heritages of this, our earth, and all earths past, present, and future. Oh, I forgot something. We're not leaving the men out. We are putting in the men's names. So I'm going to name all of them, but I'm whispering them. You'll barely hear me. In some cases, I may just move my lips and say it so softly that you can barely hear it, because some of our family men are so out of control toward Yang right now that they are destroying this family. So those names are going to be said very, very softly. They'll be said because we believe that all people have the divine feminine within them. So let me start with Julia, Lois, Emma, Anna, Oscar, Paul, Joseph, Milton. And I'll also say Joseph. Gino. Of course, the young men are already well included. I should say them out aloud. With the young women, we say with the young women, Hadass and Soma, and this is with their mothers. We've already mentioned their mothers, Marion and Meredith and Pearl and Anna Marie and Ma Patricia and Laura and Martha and Belle and okay, so we're saying all the mothers, and now we're going to name some sons and Mary. Brett. But now I'm saying the men very quietly, but they're there. Now the young boys, I should say them a little bit louder. Ross, Harlan Lewis Leviz, the young boys who are not, as long as we said the girls first, the young women first, we have to say, let me say Hadass, Soma, Lasheva, Marie, Vanessa. Very important because she's being badly held hostage. And so are some of these other young women to some extent. We've had some more contact with them than with some others. And also we're saying the names of the young men. And it's a little softer. Harlan, Ross, Harlan was this. And Isha. And now, those young men say it in a circle. We're going to say it in a circle so they don't have false hierarchy amongst them. Sean, Ross. Okay? And we've got some other men in the family, young men too, that right now are very badly pushed into patriarchy by their generations that don't know what they're doing, bimboizing the women that they know. It's cruel to both of them. They're not going to have a world with that arrangement. The world will be dead with their perfection of the young girls sticking on the lipstick and the men parading around like apes, thumping on their chest, and they'll have a dead planet. The guys will be carrying their football, the girls will be wearing their lipstick, and the planet will be gone. We'll be in the middle of Hunger Games and then nothing. That's what patriarchy is doing. Don't give that to your children of these generations. That's why we're holding this ceremony at a sacred place to protect them and to act as intercessory for all of them. And I'm sure I've left some names out, but you get the picture. And I'll say now the names of the older men who are looking on from other planets and are working through me, because they now, through me, have the opportunity to become risen Atlantis. 2. They also can come through the stargates, and they want to. Julia, Thomas, Alan, Amber, Oscar, Paul, Joseph, Milton, and more. So that's the ceremony, and you've heard it here, and you've heard the tape, an important tape. And now I'm going to do a few individual messages, and they're going to be much less longer than usual because I am tired of reaching out to people individually. I have been doing too much of that, and I really think that you need to get some level of curses. Now, This is your mama saying, look, you're going to have some consequences to your total ignoring the truth. I can't protect you to such an extent that you never get any feedback from your universe. The universe wants to help you learn. Do you need some feedback? Do you need to get sick? Do you need to push other people down and see that that doesn't prevent you from getting sick? Do you need to push women down and have the men learn that that does not prevent them from getting sick? It just makes them a little bit more sick and a little bit more stupid. And I'm going to say one more thing about our situation in North America. The art of medicine was invented in Atlantis. The Greek mythology is quite clear that it was Ceres, the mother of the earth, sometimes also called Hera or Gaia, who gave the skills of seeds to the daughters Persephone or Hebe. These were the seed keeper girls, women, young women. I won't call them girls. They were young women. They are the seeds of early spring. That's what you start seeing in spring. But they were given by the mother goddess, the goddess of life, the goddess of love and life. Then she gave the same knowledge, considerable knowledge about the grapes and the other forms of natural herbs to Marsyas, Triptolemus, Dionysius. This is the ancient pagan truth that the mother goddess taught many of her, wanted to teach her sons also to value the earth. We see that among environmentalist men. Like the man, there's a man by the name of, we've done quite a bit with the Fitzgerald Kennedy family. Related to them is a man named Danny, I don't know, let's figure out a first name for his mother, maybe Bouvier, maybe it was Bouvier, Kennedy, who's been involved in getting every roof in the world to have a solar panel. That man has been anointed by the solar goddess. He understands the divine feminine. This is not about making money at other people's expense. This is about saving the planet, because before he did that work, and he went into it as a sort of a company, he was a leader in the Greenpeace organization. He was an environmentalist. What's driving his passion is not to make money. It is to save the planet. So this is what the Eleusinian mysteries teach us, that this wisdom comes through the mother, through the sons. And when mothers try to act like men, or only throw their sons at men and exclude the wisdom of other women in their family and the Shekinah circle, the sons are troubled, they're harmed, and it doesn't allow them to attain the immortality that they deserve. So that's why we are doing this. And we're going to leave you some individual messages, but let you know it's you know, young people who we're talking about. Your mothers have been malserving you by not coming. I have to be honest with it. I love them. They have goddess within them. I'm not leaving them out, but we are compassionately both, we're kind of grabbing them through all of the names of their Shekinah that we can find out, and anointing all of them, even that came before them, but also grabbing the ones who are contemporary and are still letting themselves be deceived by media and political games, the shams that are us, and understand that the only true election is parity, and it has to be in every local, global, and universal neighborhood, and you have the way to deliver it with the New Millennial Golden Rule, and you are already co-secretary generals, co-saviorats, true Qs, and so are you, Grandma Ray, and so are you, Grandma Harriet, and so are you, Ms. Chesler and her daughter, and so are you, Lillian Gay, and so are you, all the neighbors, Shekinah, who came to the hat store, and so are all of your versions of that who live around our neighborhoods today, and so are all of our Shekinah of our family, because they are neighbors to neighbors also, and all are interconnected, and all are my daughters, and I am as Hera, as Astrea, the great goddess of all of the planets, not just Earth. Not just Earth. I'm visiting you from many of my planets. I have planets all over the universe. Do you want my wisdom? I am the Statue of Liberty, and I am the breastfeeding mother. I'm the clan mother that feeds the entire clan through the breast of her mind, her heart, her mind, her spirit, and her body, and her agency. I love you all. I give you huge hugs. Now we're going to leave a few very brief individual messages and outreaches. All right, we've saved that message for you. You can hear it in stereo. You heard it here online, and you'll hear it also, and you call in at the 345-555 extension. Okay, and now we're going to call a couple of individual extensions. And I'm putting the mute on for this because I do not want to deal with people as individuals anymore, and I'm going to let them know this. You need to form a cooperative collective circle. Wake up. Hi, Stacy Anastasia. It's your cousin Rochelle. I have begun leaving messages for Vanessa and Harlan Luz Laviz. I left a long one for Vanessa. I'm coming back to Harlan Luz Laviz. I've already left messages for Hadassah Marion and with Rachel Marie and Danielle Juliet and Barbara, and with, of course, Anna Marie and Ma Patricia, and I have talked already. And I want you to know that your generation is under a lot of pressure from corporate boardrooms of old men to bimboize young women. They want women to be sex objects, but not be whole people. Why? Because they're old men, they're grumpy, and they're sociopathic, and they don't know the value of a woman has between her ears and within her heart, as well as what she may have in her body. These are not happy people, they are sick people, and they are trying to push people like you and Vanessa and Hadass back 100 years, 5,000 years, because they are wrongly threatened by what took place here in the United States, a very bad form of, a wrong form of feminism. Our feminism didn't do the right thing. Instead of focusing on representation and balance of love and work, it focused on abortion, which was the wrong, a very divisive issue, and a very, very serious and complex one that needs a full complement of women in office in order to deal with. And that's not what happened. They focused on it and they left representation and balance of love and work and the protection of Mother Nature out. Now, what you have to do is turn off television, call Vanessa, find out Vanessa's phone number and call her as if your life depended on it, honey, because it does, and so does Natalie, and so does your other daughter, and I have to put the name in front of me. I'm forgetting her name, but forgive me. Is it Alisa, and even Brett? Their lives depend on this. They will not have a future if you and Vanessa and Hadass are not. And we also did the ceremony. You can call the 641-715-3800, access code 29274, and then it's extension 345555. Your mother, Cheryl, is very, very important. She is important to be in touch with me, and I will help her deal with Julianne Marie. They can repair the breach. And you and Vanessa and Harlan Luz Laviz and Natalie and Alisa and Brett and Harlan Luz Laviz will all benefit from that. And the world will benefit because you're all gifted people. You have it within you to be co-secretary generals, co-saviors. You'll be bigger than your grandpa Milton ever was, is what I'm trying to tell you, Stacy. But in a loving way, in a way of doing love empowerment of all the people of democracy, not just to pile up some money in a bank, but to have eternal wealth and eternal life on this and all planets, beyond your imaginings. True Q, Equinox True Q. Watch Stargate and watch Star Trek, and you'll understand what I'm talking about. Now, I need to be in touch with Cheryl. If it's the last thing that you ever think of doing, put me in touch with Cheryl. I've already made contact with Merle, and I know that the women of your family are all used to this divide and divide. It's wrong, and it's harming you. I'm the great clan mother for this whole family clan, the Margulises, the Feldmars, and everything that came in between. And I know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm the one with PhD in family and community systems. I understand the anthropology of patriarchy and the anthropology of bilineal family systems and the reparation of the female that is necessary here. So please do not hesitate. Call me 24/7, 301-933-0272, and or on the conference lines. You know the conference line number is 641-715-3580. My sister Julia Marie came under the pressures of a certain branch of our family that's highly patriarchal. I mean, in their past story, there's abuse of women, very, very patriarchal and very, very heavily patriarchal. And we failed to gather enough with certain branches that were less so. I didn't understand the family systems well enough to allow, and it allowed this to happen to Julia Marie. But Julia Marie has a divine feminine consciousness within her. Some years ago, she gave me 3 books: The Da Vinci Code, which is about the divine feminine, and Mariam of Magdala, as well as Jesus of Nazareth. And it's also about, she gave me the Lace Reader's Tale and the Handmaid's Tale. The Lace Readers and the Handmaid's Tale, all about the feminine, the divine feminine, and the importance of women working for one another. Honey, I know we can reclaim my sister, and I know we can reclaim your mother, and I know we can reclaim all of the women of your family, and you can do your great and grandmother greater pride than you can, and all that beautiful artwork that they had over around the house. It will become to life. You will become works of art yourselves by the way you live your life. And I love you so much, and I want to make up to the damage that was done to you by my family. And I want to help you and your brother to enjoy the greatest sisterhood and brotherhood among all the young cousins and cousins of your family and our family. I love you. You can call me. And the conference line is 641-715-3580, access code 773342. When I broadcast, I'm on the conference line. You can get through to me that way when I'm broadcasting. I am doing the Hangouts on the air. I am standing up for the entire world of women, because if somebody doesn't do so, this planet is dead. So where it's going to be parity and paradise, or it's going to be patriarchy and planeticide. You have to pick now. I love you. You know I love you very, very much. The world knows I'm saying this to a precious sister. You have the heart light within you and the budding, blooming flowers, marvelous and miraculous within you. We both do. And so did all of the sisters of all of our family tree and all of our sister Kazinas, going back all the generations and currently going out horizontally among our peers of our family and community. And that includes Georgine, and that includes all of the women of our family. Of course, I have focused this proceedings on the home-based, the home that was a gathering of women for trying on crowns. Of course, we need to crown ourselves with love and with glory, and to act like that. Now, so you've heard that, and I've been doing it, and I'm going to continue to do that. Vanessa and Hannoutsz and Vanessa. I'm on broadcast. I'm taking it off. A little slow to respond. There it goes. Donny Aurora Fleece and Mario Rainbow Sweetheart. Mario Rainbow Sweetheart and Donny Aurora Fleece were here today. They say hi and hugs to Heather and Jam, Jam and Heather on behalf of Whiskers and Tiger and Whiskers and Holly and Tiger, Tiger and Holly, Holly and Tiger, and Buttermilk and Blackie, Blackie and Buttermilk, and Felix, and all the furry friends, family, and all of the butterflies, the birdies, and the bees, all the flora and the fauna, and all the people, too, of our local, global, and universal Equinox True Q neighborhoods. You have to remember, you are on the family tree of the greatest geobiologist who ever lived. She had 3 sisters. I've been in touch with them all. She has a daughter. Her daughter has 3 children, 2 girls and a boy. I've been in touch with them all. And their first father, who wrote about the Stargate, the first husband of Lynn, that was Carl Alexander Sagan. That is our Hikina. His protagonist was a female. He saw the future of the universe and reaching out in kindness between the planets. But he didn't quite have it right because he didn't have an empowered. He has a sister, and I've been in touch with her. She's a social worker. Okay, and then they married into the Margulis tree, and that's a family where there's a crystallographer. This is the generations of the computer, which is based on crystals, and the solar panel, which is based on crystals. And it also has in the word embedded in it what we all are and can be, co-Christs. We have to make the technology work for the common person. And then abundant life will be there for everyone on this and all planets. Don't tell me you don't understand this. I know you do. I love you. Call me 24/7. Huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. And by the way, again, we did honor all of the mothers and their sisters and the Kazinas of all of the men that you've been parading around with as father figures. Those men didn't come out of a basket. They came out of mothers. Their mothers had sisters who helped them. Their mothers had sister Kazinas who loved them. And we have honored them all on all of the branches, even the ones where the women have been instructed to not have contact with me. And they know it. And people who know them know it and are going to be telling them if they haven't already. So don't feel like I'm leaving anyone out. We have honored all the mothers and all the youth, female and male, age 37 and younger. Don't be the last on the train to glory. Come on early on with you and Vanessa. You're both diamonds. I love you. Huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs, huge hugs. And I'm going to say one more thing. In the future, coming up very soon, I'm not going to leave long messages for Julianne Marie or for you. They're going to be much shorter. You're going to have to learn to come to a group line and go to the family line, go to the 555 line, go to the 34555 line, because you need to learn how to connect with just a few people who are suffocating you. I love you. Every blessing. And give Georgina a big hug for me, too. And Giodora and all the people in your building. They know what I'm doing, too. And we honor their mothers, too, and their sisters and their Kazinas and all their youth, age female and male, age 37 and younger. Okay, we're just going to let you look at me here while I'm doing some other work. This is a very busy goddess. I'm a very busy goddess. This is Australia. I am taking care of you all. I'm working on all your behalf. You have to choose parity, not patriarchy, or your future is to become degrade, to become sociopathic, to become mad, and to become dead. You have to choose parity. Go to 5050now.wordpress.com. Make the new millennial golden rule your mantra. Say every day to everyone you meet, parity, not patriarchy. If it isn't parity, it isn't government. If it isn't practicing balance of love and work, it isn't family. It is that simple. Say these simple phrases. If it isn't parity, it isn't government. If it's patriarchy, it's planeticidal. If it isn't paradisal parity, it's planeticidal patriarchy. It is a choice. You have to choose blessings or curses. There is no way out of this choice anymore. There is no time for any fooling around. We have done this broadcast as if it was at the hat store, which was a home that was run by a mother who you heard the tape of, that what was her priorities to take care of her children and to serve her neighbors, to serve her own family tree. We have honored the gathering of women, and we have gathered all the women of all of the branches of our family on their behalf, with or without the cooperation of current Shekinah, who don't seem to understand how badly they have been brainwashed and harmed. We have done it on their behalf. I act as intercessor. I move as quickly as I can. I have a very large backlog because I did not know who I was for so much of my life. I did not know what the priorities I should have had were. I followed the traditional patriarchal conventional path too much myself, and that set us all very far behind. I'm trying to catch up, and I'm working on your behalf. But you need to come co-hostess with me and co-host. Until you begin to conquer the conference line and work together with me, this planet is nearly toast. You are looking forward to a horrific time of Hunger Games, human oppression, and cruelty beyond the previous experiences of past generations, which certainly had enough. Those past generations are on our other planets. They are waiting for you to choose the new millennial golden rule so that we can open up the stargates and become risen. They are waiting for you. I am doing it for you. The stargate is a little bit open. It's a little bit open, but it can't get all the way open until you cooperate. I have to get you to cooperate. If you don't cooperate, you're all going to wind up dead. So it's that simple, and I love you. And I'm going to just leave it on mute, and then we're going to stop it in a few minutes. phone tree broadcasting as Hera Harriet, Rea Rayet, Clara Ra. We've taken in the generations, all the women of all the branches, all of the mothers and all the mothers of the daughters and all the mothers of all the sons back at the beginning of time. It was done at the Stargate was at 3521 West Interdependence in Roosevelt. And the next step is 63350 North Hamlin and all the houses that came from there, where the people reside with memory and what they know what to value. Listen to the, I'll just say, as Hera Harriet, Rea Rayet, Clara Ra, Precious Antoinette, Risen Rose, Maria Flowing Kindness, Grandma Popper, Better Than Mary Poppins, Dorothy, all the lessons of the Wizard of Oz, and all of our generations, and all of our youth, female and male, age 37 and younger. If that does not occur now, you're all looking forward to terrible, horrible curses and real death. I'm not kidding. It's that simple. So get on board. You can be co-hostess. We'll do this together. Have a great time. And the names of the men should be listed, mentioned on the phone tree. And if for any reason I forgot, they're included. Well, that's our broadcast. That's our broadcast for this afternoon. And we'll be back with another broadcast. And then we're going to take a break and get a lot of other things done that have been waiting too long. And I hope God is going to give me a few days to kind of take this turn around the bend and take us off the direction of patriarchy and right back to where we should have been, back to the best future, which is parity. Parity paradise on this and all planets, not planeticidal patriarchy. This is the goddess Estrella, the goddess Durga, and common sense. This is Mariam of Magdala, risen. And this is her Kazinas, risen. This is the Kazina and the nieces of Mariam of Nazareth and Jesus of Nazareth, risen. This is the Radha. This is Radha Shah, risen. This is Grace Love, risen. This is a lot of people risen, and I am risen on your behalf. I am holding my light, and you can enter the golden door of our earth as a paradise and a paradise on all earths through the Stargate of the New Millennial Golden Rule at 5050now.wordpress.com.